Okay, I think this is a problem that I think other INTPs might run into, and it's the fact that it's about not finishing things, not finishing learning about something, and I think it comes from INTPs like to have stimulation, like learning and researching and just, I don't know, I could just fill my mind all day, but it's just kind of a stimulation, and it's kind of, like an addicting stimulation, but I think, not finishing something, it gives it the illusion that you still have more to do, because, like, once you finish a certain subject, like, it's done, like, you can't learn it again, like, it's just done, you can't get any more from it, so I think some INTPs kind of like to keep that option open, and they kind of, like, will learn a lot, they'll, like, learn enough to satisfy, and then they'll just kind of put it on the back burner and they'll be like, I'll come back to that later. I've learned enough and I want to keep this option open. But they don't really think about it like that. And then they'll just go to another subject and then they'll go to another subject. And eventually, by the time they circle back around to the other subject, it's like, oh, it's been like a year and I don't remember a lot. So I have to almost learn everything again. But I mean, it comes back a little easier, but I think it's almost a way of us sabotaging ourselves because we crave that stimulation, and it's easy. We crave that easy stimulation by learning something, but like you need to go ahead and like learn that thing, and then you learn that thing, and you learn other things, and then once you learn all those things, those thoughts can be combined, and then you can learn even more complicated things, which will keep you busier for longer, and it's more of like it'll be more of like, I guess chewing a steak. Like it takes longer to eat, but it'll be more satisfying than like, say, a simpler idea, which is like drinking a soda, which you'll get like a little rush from it, but you can drink it really fast, but then you'll just kind of feel empty, and then you have to go to another soda, and then you go on a sugar binge. So that's kind of a weird analogy. But yeah, just and I think just and by not doing that, kind of having that addiction for the stimulation, because I think INTPs are understimulated anyway for the most part, because like if I wasn't thinking about something and like talking, I would just be and then just staring and maybe like clicking things. And like I'm not a very animated person, but it's just different talking to a camera. But but yeah. So yeah, don't fall way like don't give in to yourself trying to sabotage yourself for your addiction purposes. Just learn it, benefit from it, and learn more complex things because you'll develop more as a person and you'll like have better ideas, and once you eventually start doing it, you'll like it more. I mean, that's what I found. Like, I don't know, learning the simpler things, like it's just everything around you, like all those things kind of all start circling in into one big subject. It's like the subject of life. It's like all these little disciplines kind of come together, and it's just like one grand scheme. It's like learning the universe, basically. And I feel like that's what INTPs do. They look at the big picture, and I don't think they necessarily like will study just like one small focus area because there's more to it. Like we can see like the things adjacent to it and like all around it because there's just so many possibilities, and there's so much, and I don't think we can be specialists. We I think see the patterns in chaos, and I think that's our strength, and I think that's why we can make sense out of seemingly chaos, and we can make sense out of things that seem like they have nothing to do with each other, but then I don't know, like for instance, like all these like networks around the world of like all these different organizations, like I study them long enough, and then you can kind of see how this organization is connected to this organization, they kind of impact this one, and then you kind of see like how the whole world like economy slash political system works, and it's just kind of cool, and a lot of like all that stuff is tied together, and yeah, you just see things that you don't see before because you study the smaller things. You see how the smaller things are connected and bigger things connect too, and then you'll just have a more satisfying life, and you'll just see that this world and this universe is just a big connected dot, and then just trying to connect the dots to see the bigger picture is fun and exhilarating, but just get past numbers 1 through 10 or whatever, and then it just your world will expand, and so will your life and your quality of life, and just you as a person, and that's the only way I think you can thrive as an INTP is you have to kick that part of you out and just do things. And yeah, so INTPs, finish things. Please, for your own sake. And for the sake of other INTPs, so people don't think we're all lazy. Because it's partly true, but I don't know. It's more than that we're not lazy. But yeah, that's the end of this video.